Oh, perfect timing. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Oh, Blade was first. That's because I did some Node Red this week. He's happy with me. Did you like my Node Red, Blade? What do you think? It actually works. There's probably some things I could tinker with to make it better, but it works. In fact, I need to video it today because I'm doing that Mark Robert class and it's due. It's due tonight. How are we doing? Sorry, I think what I need to do, I don't remember what the calendar says, but I think I need to make it so that it says 1:30. If it says 1 o'clock, I apologize. I'm trying to make it by 1 o'clock. Yeah, it says 1 o'clock, so I'm going to have to change that to 1:30. And then there'll be some times, hopefully, where I'll do it in the morning as well, but not this week. I slept in. I have to go to work in a few hours, so how's everybody doing? Did y'all watch Quindor last night? Quindor's stream yesterday was awesome. He made his big announcement about, let's see, is it on your website? Where is it? About basically the Ethernet connected ESP32s. So Quindor has made a couple now, or three maybe different ones, three different custom ESP32 boards. So instead of buying, honestly, the crappiest part of the D1, or the crappiest part of the DrZz and the... Whoa! Why is there a zombie? Thanks for subscribing. William Comartin. Again. That's weird. Why is that a zombie? I'm going to have to change that. I don't like that. Ew, zombies are gross. Anyways, Quindor made a bunch of custom ESP32 boards. So instead of the DrZs and DrQuads coming with this, which honestly has been, golly, we've probably had a fail rate in the 20% or something. I mean, it's been ridiculous, including this one right here, which I actually bought to solder and send to someone who had a broken one. And I soldered the pins on and I plugged it into flash. No matter what I do, it won't recognize it. So I don't know if it's broken or if I messed something up, but anyways, it's been, I need an LED matrix behind me. Oh, that would be awesome. Oh gosh, we got to fix that thing. What is up with that? Thank you, UK Heli Pilot. That you can send messages to. If you send messages and they're behind me, is that what you want to do? Let's see if we can fix this thing. Do you guys mind if I take a minute and get rid of the zombies? Oh, let's see. How do I do that? So Aaron, PoE, no, it's not. And I'll revisit what Quindor has said about that. Oh, like a shout out thing. Oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Let's do it. I can handle the shout out if you can do the matrix. I can do the matrix. Oh, not that matrix. Huh? Okay. You work on your end, I'll work on my end. I can do it. I've already got the panels. I just need to put them together, get a controller. Anyways, back to ESP32. So here's the situation with PoE. It's never going to be a good idea to power LEDs with PoE. PoE is not gonna be able to carry enough current, right, to run any significant number of LEDs. Now, okay, 48 volts if you've got like a half an amp at the most, maybe going through there. I think the max on PoE. What's the max on PoE? It's not very much. It's like 4 watts or something like that. It's not very much. So you can't really power very many LEDs. So an ESP32 board that you're using for LEDs with Ethernet for LEDs, PoE is not really going to be very useful. You're going to have a power supply anyways, right next to that board for the LEDs. Now, if you're using an ESP32 board with Ethernet for smart home stuff, which we're going to talk about today, then PoE is a good idea because you probably don't need a lot of current for the other things that you're doing. If all you're doing is like clicking on a relay or powering a sensor, those kinds of things, you should be fine with PoE, but not with LEDs. Dig powered, can you keep the dig powered? Then you can update it and use the switch contact to turn on the power supply. I see what you're saying. Can't you keep the dig powered? Then you can update it. I guess that's true. PoE plus is 51 watts. Wow, that's pretty good. That's through what? What are they doing that? Is that through their that's a lot of current. 15 watts or 30 watts with the current standards, but effectively after buck converting you're down to 10 watts to 25 watts effectively. Then you power the board and such, so maybe 5 watts to 15 watts for LEDs max. It's an interesting idea to say, could you use the PoE to power the controller and then just have the controller turn a relay on and off for the power supply? I mean, you can do that even with an external power supply. I guess you want to turn off the power supply, the whole thing. If what you turn off is just the LEDs, because the LEDs sitting idle maybe do use a little bit of power. I don't know. Echo, echo, echo? Really? Is there an echo? I was messing around with Streamlabs the other day, and maybe I shouldn't have. Zombie squirrel. Slam, whatever you want to call it. Hit that like button. Thank you, Blade. No echo. Okay. You and SG are in sync. Oh, the echo is between Blade and Sir Goodenough. I got it. I'm catching up. Oh, man. So one of the things, you know what might have happened? I bet you I know what happened. Hey, bud, you done? How you doing? So Streamlabs has made most of their themes now. You have to pay for them. And I believe the one that I've been using forever, you now have to pay for. I'm pretty sure. So that's kind of sucky, right? But we're going to change it to something because I don't want the zombie. I want something different. Oh, there are some free ones. Let's see if mine is. I like the one I have. Should I change to something new? What do you guys want? You want me to change to something new? You want me to keep the one I've had forever? You can vote while I look. That one's kind of cool. I don't remember what you had. Nobody pays attention but me. That's cool too. I'm all right with that. I shouldn't be doing this during the stream. I need to do this before the stream. Let's do this one instead. Let's try this one. Select at least one widget. What? Oh. Okay. A new one. Oh, it just did it crash or something? Widget theme installed and activated. Okay, now we need some subscribers. Okay, we'll see what happens when it pops up. Anyways, very foggy. Change the resolution? What? What? Seriously? There you go. Let's see what Benji. Thank you, Benji. Let's see what happens. We're not getting anything? Nothing? Nothing for Benji's tip, really? That ain't cool. Well, thank you very much, Benji. We're going to play this for you. Even if the dumb old thing is all screwy. Look, it's not showing Twitch subscribers. Like, holy cow. It's totally broken. Oh, there it is. Benji. There it goes with Super Chat. $5. Thank you. I don't know if I like that one, but we'll see. The resolution is great. Okay, good. There we go. There we go. Binary Nexus. Thank you. Let's go. All right. So on the topic of PoE, I mean, I see, I mean, Worm made a good point there about, can you have that powered up? I mean, that might be worthwhile. I don't know. I know that, it's, ooh, you like it, Blade? Okay, if Blade likes it, then it's stuck. Does wLED currently work with the ESP32 board, ETH? So I don't have that one. I don't know, but I can tell you it is going to work with Quindor's boards, and they should be available in the next several months. ETH ESP32 I don't have, so I don't know. And basically, if it's not the same pinout, is it this one? It would not work with this, I can tell you that. TT Go Internet PoE ESP32 VROM. This is not one oh no, this is just the programmer. Don't be fooled. I was fooled. I bought this one. You guys want to see it, don't you? You want me to zoom in? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. I bought this one and I have it here with me. And it was going to be the next one that I played around with. But apparently there's a programmer that it's supposed to, that it needs. And I don't know if it's just a TTL, you know, ES or whatever we call them, the things we've been flashing with forever, whatever you call them. Anyways, you have to have this little flasher, which I don't think is going to be any big deal. I think I can just do it with my regular, FTDI adapter, FTDI flasher thing. wLED can work with the Olimex ESP32 PoE. Just need to custom compile and add a level shifter and such. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't bother. But I will say that I did get this guy working. This is right now my favorite as far as smart home ESP32 PoE boards. Okay. Now, this one is, I think it's about $17. This, not from this website. This is DigiKey, so it's $22. So this, but this will get here. If you buy it from DigiKey, it arrives really quickly, but DigiKey doesn't do, their shipping is really expensive. It's like $8. No matter what you buy, it's at least $8. So anyways, but you can get these from AliExpress, Banggood, etc. So I got one of these and I got it working for my old, I called it the IoT Adventures game. Do you guys remember that? Some of you guys that have been around for a long time. When I did that, I did the dragon and the little wand and the little box for the Maker Faire. Remember that? So I resurrected that as part of my Mark Rober class that I'm in. All right. Ikafar just subscribed. What are we migrating? Oh, we're migrating from the virtual machine to the Blue for Home Assistant. And, I think today what I'll do is install ESP32 or ESPhome, which is not going to take more than a few seconds. It's been interesting because I'm squirreling. It's been interesting because on the Blue, on the Home Assistant Blue, all my ESPhome devices show up that are on the network, even though I haven't actually installed ESPhome, right? Like, I guess does ESPhome, it used to be that it was an add-on. Is it not an add-on anymore? Anyways, let's get back to this. So I was able to take this guy here, connect it to Ethernet. I actually powered it separately just because I didn't have a PoE switch to plug it into, but I could have plugged it into a PoE switch. And then from the PoE switch, I should probably try it anyways. I'll go back and try it. Anyways, from this, I was able to run, let's see, what is about 6 LEDs, 2 read switches, and a motion sensor. I think that's all I put on there right now. But I got that all working in ESPhome. And then my most proud moment, and Blade, this is time for Blade to get all teary like, oh, my boy's all grown up. I took the old YAML automations that I had made for this game, and I made them into, and put them into Node-RED. And it looks like this. So this is the game. This is how it works. Do you want me to walk you through it? Let's walk through it. This is total squirrel. Maybe nobody cares. Can we set an office stream setup tour? Sure. How close are we to the home tour? We're really close. We're at 91,000 subscribers today. So if I get some, you know, I get a couple good videos out and get another boost in subscribers, it should be soon, maybe the next 2 months, somewhere in there. We love Node Red. You all care. Okay, great. Well, then let's walk through this. This will be fun. And maybe we can find some ways I can improve it. I can tell you where we've had hiccups, although it is actually working reasonably well. All right, so here we go. I'll make 10,000 fake accounts. Thanks, Blade. It'll feel cheapened, but it'll be okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's what we got. So in my little wand box, which is, let's see, how can I show you my wand box? We do have a lot of subscribers. Thanks, everybody. YouTube would hate you. Yes, I would probably, and then I would probably get banned or something. Oh, we can turn this camera on, and then we can aim this camera at different things, but let's turn it so that it's not upside down anymore. Transform, flip, vertical. That did not seem to work. Transform. Nope, that didn't work. There we go. Okay, now we can see. All right, now we're going to point it over there. There. See my little wand box over there, okay? So in that little box is the magic wand. And on the back of that box, there's a button. So when I press that button, that's this right here. So what I've got it set to do, this is a state node, right? This is, you can look over here, it's an events state node. So when I hold the button down for 2 seconds, so just a tap won't do it. I've thought about doing other things with different taps using something like this, but I haven't done it yet. Anyways, when I hold the button down for 2 seconds, then it moves on to the next set of things. The first thing that it does is it plays this quest start. It plays this quest start. So you guys couldn't see it because of that. So we'll go back in here. Wand box. I know everybody's screaming. Yeah. I know. Switch cameras. I know. Anyways, this is what I showed that you couldn't see. Events. This is an event state node, and it's got a switch in the wand box over there. And when I hold the button for 2 seconds, then it moves on to the next step. So it does a couple things. One, it locks the box. So the box has a magnetic lock in it so that once you push that button, you can't open it anymore. We were doing so good today, and then fail. That was a minor fail. I've failed much bigger than that in the past. So the lock turns on once you start the quest, okay? And the other thing that it does is it checks this input Boolean, and it takes this input Boolean that I created and turns it on so that the Dragon has like motion sensor and stuff, and there's some timers involved, you'll see. And I had to make some sort of a virtual state mechanism so that we would not have him active all the time. So he has an input Boolean that basically turns on some of his features and turns off some of his features. So when you hold the button, it turns him on, basically. All right, so then the quest start. So the quest start, this is really fun. This is, it plays on the Google Home here in my office, and it plays a sound file that Jackson made for us, my oldest son, that he made for us. He made a bunch of sound files. So it plays all these different sound files at different points. So it plays the sound file and, greeting adventurer, blah, 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 welcome. And he explains what you have to do, that you have to defeat the dragon. And to defeat the dragon, you need this wand. But to get the wand, you have to do something magical, right? You have to open this box. So to open the box, there's a temperature sensor on top. So I put in a temperature sensor, and it's a Dallas temperature sensor. So you can hold on to it to heat it up or blow hot air on it. Or like I had a can of soda nearby so that kids could hold a can of soda or something on there to cool it down. So this node was new to me. This is the wait until node. Have you guys used this? Who's used this wait until node? So the wait until node is kind of cool. And this is part of like, I guess YAML automations do something like this now too, right? But the wait until node will start monitoring that entity. In this case, it's this sensor wand box crystal temp sensor, temperature sensor. And it will start monitoring it, and it will check for the state to get above 80 degrees. So if the state gets above 80 degrees, it will continue on. Or after 1 minute, if the state doesn't get above 80 degrees, it will reset. It will just basically stop the flow and things will end. Okay. So this top one is what happens if it gets above 80 degrees. And the bottom one is what happens if it gets below, I think it was 70. So I made it 70. I had to do a little bit of tinkering. This really is dependent on how warm the room is that you're in and what kind of stuff you have available to warm it up or cool it down. You don't want it to trigger at the wrong time. But this wait until node was pretty cool. That's what you tell your wife? It's the wait until node. Node red. Oh no, sir, good enough. Saw node red and his mind went blank. You can store the room temp in a variable when you start your game. Oh, maybe. And then just do it based on, oh, that's a good idea. That's a nice little complicated addition, because then you could make this just so many degrees above that stored state, right? Is that what you're saying? Above or below that stored state? I like that, actually. That would make it very, movable. You wouldn't have to mess with it too much. What do I use for the motion sensor? The motion sensor is one of those AM321s or AM312s. This is the motion sensor that I'm using. I love these little guys. It's amazing. This is one of those rare occasions where the smallest, cheapest is the best. This thing is just reliable. I can't beat this. So that's what I used. And that was one of the upgrades that I made with all this, was because it was using a different motion sensor, which I thought would be better because it was big and it had dials. You could adjust it and all this stuff. And it was too difficult to work with. And there's interference with the ESP board and stuff. So forget it. What do I control with this whole thing, Tech Turtle? It's a game. You'll have to see. I'll have to make a short video about it because it's maybe hard to envision what's going on, but it's basically a physical game that you play where, there's the wand box that I showed you, and then there's the dragon. You can see his eyes. His eyes are different colors. You can see that he's got no cords because I poked all the cords through the wall into the closet. But basically, the kids have to go, they get the wand, and then they go over to the dragon, and they have to touch the wand to one of those little targets on his chest. But that right there is the motion sensor. And if the motion sensor is activated, well, we'll walk through that. But basically, if the motion sensor gets activated, he can detect them and he goes after them, basically, right? Comes alive and blows fire on them. I haven't figured out the fire part yet. I could probably give you a demo of the whole thing before we're all done. Let's walk through the logic some more, and then I'll give you a demo of the whole thing. I'll figure out a way to do that. Propane in a lighter. All right, keep testing. Thanks for following. We'll do this fancy unicorn. Is it just a Node MCU? Oh no, sorry. I see what you mean. The hardware part. So the Dragon is running on one of these. If I had a second one of these, I would also use it for the wand box. The trick about the wand box is it needs quite a bit of power for the lock. Those magnetic locks take a little bit of juice to keep them locked. It's probably way overkill. I mean, it's way, way stronger than it needs to be, but it's what I had on hand, so that's what I used. A fan and some streamers. Oh, I like that. Flicks my switch. I like that. That's a great idea. Dude, I like it. Anyways, I love this. These are awesome ideas. We do got some smarties in here. I love it. We always have smarties, but I love the streamers and the fan idea. I made the sound effects are pretty fun too, but and I made a fire sound effect and everything. So I was thinking I would do like a hair dryer because I've got a broken hair dryer, so I could do a hair dryer when if the hairdryer would blow, and it would blow the streamers, and it would be hot air, right? And all it needs is a relay. Just click, relay comes on, hairdryer goes, right? What are the benefits of PoE over a micro USB? You mean as far as powering it? It's just one cable instead of two. So it lets you connect it to the network, I guess. A mess to clean up. Oh gosh. One of those sparkle bombs, like the guy that did the cell phones, the hidden Amazon package. Yeah. So that's Mark Robert, James. And this is what I'm doing. The reason I'm doing this right now, when I'm buried in other projects, the reason I'm doing this right now is because I'm doing a class with Mark Robert. He's got, I don't know how many people. I'm sure there's hundreds of us, but this is the first time he's done this, but he basically took the month of January and set up a class for maker crazy people to go with him through the process. And so he's got us doing different projects every week or so and going through the whole process from, brainstorming, prototyping, big robots pop footballs, brainstorming, research, prototyping, and final build. Kind of like a master class. Yeah. But it's really fun. It's really been good. It's been it's been nice. It's really cool. So anyways, so this is what I'm doing. But I wanted to learn how to use one of these anyways. And I wanted to learn how to use Node-RED better anyways. And I wanted to get my Dragon game running again, because these are the kinds of things that I want to put in our Hobbit hole and then the bigger castle that we plan on building years down the road. But if I live long enough. But for now, this is what we got to start with. So this is what we're doing. Can I show the pic of the new ESP32 Ethernet board that's coming? I don't have a picture of it, Aaron, but maybe Quindor, do you have a picture, or do you have something that we could show? I see a house fire in the future. What class is it? It's Mark Rober. It's on monthly. This will probably show you things that are inside the class, but it's basically this. This is the class. I don't know how else to. But it's monthly is the name of the system that he's using. And then we're on day 21 of 30. And today's the day we turn in the second project. We do the final build of the second project. Here's my entry from the other day. And then I finished since then. I just haven't done another update of it. This was the one I was trying to do before, but it kind of failed. Anyways, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. And Mark Rober's a dang genius, so it's fun. Hey, Mitch. Special reason not going Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi full, pretty much. Tybee. Pretty much, yeah. I want to experiment with some of these Ethernet-based ESP32 boards. And the reason I'm going with these is because I know how to program these ESP32 boards with ESPhome. And it integrates really easy with Home Assistant, and it's easy for me. Is the class worth the cost? I think so. I don't remember what the cost was exactly. $200 and something, maybe almost $300. Yeah, me and Wi-Fi have issues. Although I think it's gotten better. I haven't done a real full test, but I think it's gotten better since I took all my cameras off the Wi-Fi. So we only have one Wi-Fi camera left in the house. And then I guess the doorbell when it works. Tons of snow today, Raspy. Tons of snow. Tons of snow. Yesterday. Late as usual. Wherever possible, go wired. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Can we get the board? Which board, Felipe? The one I'm using is this one. It's the Olimex ESP32 PoE. I don't think they have them on Amazon. If they do, they're probably really expensive. No, they don't. Oh, maybe they do. No. Nope. Not even close. I think I got mine from AliExpress. I'll create some links. I don't have them just yet, but okay, this is the one. This is Quindor's. Now, what you got here, oh, that's a beautiful picture. Man, you got some good cameras. So what he's got here is, down here is this is the ESP32 board that is basically Quindor's replacement for this ESP32 Mini, which is in a lot of cases failing miserably. So this is Quindor's ESP32 board down here, and then an Ethernet hat on top. All right. For sure. For what? The thing? Sure. Of course. Just getting started.
Here you are?
Yeah.
Hello again.
So this would be, I would use this. This is made for the Dig Uno, Dig Quad line of things, but you certainly could use this for other stuff as well. Hello, Bing. Have I seen the challenges that Chris Ramsey does? No, I haven't. Who's that? Hello, little maker. Okay, so back to this. Let's keep walking through the logic. So the wand either gets hot or it gets cold, right? And you have 1 minute to get it hot enough or cold enough. If you get it hot enough, then the lights in the wand box change colors. Now the wand box, I wanted to run it off of this, but I ran short on time. So the wand box is still running on a D1 Mini, and it's running Tasmota because that's what I used originally. I just updated it to ESP30 or to 9.2, Tasmota 9.2, and then just sorted out a couple things with it, like the sensor. Mostly, I changed the kind of sensor. And then the control of the lights is handled with the light service in Home Assistant. So that's one thing that happens. So the lights turn red, and then it plays a sound. Or it plays not a sound, but a whole spiel again that Jackson put together for us. So a sound bite that says, "Oh, congratulations, you've, retrieved the wand. You've got the fire spell. So you need to you need to touch the wand to the fire emblem on the dragon." He says it much better than I'm saying it. It's actually really, really good. But that's basically what he says. So he tells them what to do next. Oh, and then he says, "But move quietly. But move slowly and quietly, because if you wake him, his fiery death will be your doom," or something like that. So he tells them that, okay, you got to get to the dragon now, but you got to move slow and quiet, because if you go too fast and you move, he'll wake up and he'll blow fire on you. And then the same kind of thing happens for the ice, except the lights turn blue instead of turning red. And then the wand box, there was also, the rainbow lights I forgot to mention. I also used the Tasmota light effect called random for the wand box. So the wand box is always doing just different lights, different colors and different stuff. And then when it gets to above the temperature threshold, it turns red, or below the temperature threshold, it turns blue, and it unlocks. So you can't get the wand out until you've done that. So once you've done that, the wand is accessible. You can grab it now, right? So, I got to change that time. My blinds want to open at 2 o'clock every day. Okay. Now, the next thing I did was another wait until, or a few wait untils that are all on a 1 minute timer. So you have 1 minute now to get to the dragon. If you get to the dragon and activate the fire sensor within that 1 minute, then you move on here and the dragon goes through his death throes. And the same thing if you do the ice, right? If you get to the dragon and you touch the wand has a magnet on the tip of it, and the reed sensors are what's behind the emblems of the fire and the ice. So it's just a simple magnetic sensor, and you get the magnet close to it and it activates. But it only works during this time period. So you have that 1 minute to touch the wand to the sensor for it to work. If you wait too long or anything like that, it won't work. And if you try and do it before that, it won't work. And then he does a few things. He plays this another sound bite from Jackson. He makes like this death throw of the dragon goes, "Oh, congratulations, you have defeated the dragon." No. Right? And then I turn this DrZs is alive Boolean to off so that he's not sort of active all the time. Okay. And then his eyes blink. They just start to flash and go crazy. This is an effect. This effect is in ESPhome. So this is because the Dragon is working on ESPhome sketch on that Olimex board. So with ESPhome, the effects are different. And in this case, color wipe is the one that I like. So it's just kind of rolling between a bunch of different colors. So that's what's happening color wipe is what happens when he's dead, and it kind of flashes through a bunch of the colors really fast. Normally he's on, you can see it over here. Normally what he's on is random. So he's on random when he's sort of just idle in between games, right? I used some delays in here. So after it blinks for a few seconds, then it turns off. And then after a delay, it goes back to his idle state. But once you have activated the wand and you have it in your hand, then you have to sneak up on the Dragon, right? So when you're sneaking up on the Dragon, you have 1 minute. For 1 minute, basically, the binary sensor for motion is turned on. You need to walk through? Yeah. So the motion, this is really fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope this is useful to you, because for me, this is like a whole new way to use all these awesome smart home devices, sensors and triggers and actions and things in a whole new way. So it makes me excited. Maybe I'm just a super nerd, but it makes me excited. I really get excited about this. It's only turning on your lights and turning off your lights is really useful and fun. But this is another level, right? The ring of invisibility. Oh, you need a ring of invisibility, don't you? You drinking my Dr. Pepper? You're gonna have to show everybody how to do the wand game. Are you ready to show them how to do the wand game pretty soon?
Yeah.
Okay, let me finish explaining it, and then we'll have you do it. Okay.
Okay.
So come back in about 10 minutes.
Okay. I'm just gonna be up here, so.
Okay, I'll just holler. Okay. So basically, for 1 minute, the motion sensor is activated. All right. So when this is where I used the DrZzs is alive thing. So this is the sensor, that the input Boolean that says whether or not he's activated. Because what I don't want is for the sneaking to, like, the motion sensing to work when he's already dead, right? Because we've had that happen where somebody killed him, but at the same time it detected motion, and so it went and then it went, I got you, and it blasted him, right? So that was a flaw that I needed to fix, and this was the solution, was to put in this input Boolean to make sure that he's on. So once he is killed down here, and he's dead, basically, the input Boolean is switched off, then any more motion that it senses will be ignored. Okay? But if it detects motion, if the motion sensor goes to on, if it detects motion, it checks to see if he's alive. If he is, then it gives you a warning first. It plays another sound that it's Jackson saying, "Whoa, what is that? Who's there?" You know? And then he kind of goes back to sleep and he snores again, right? So, and his eyes turn yellow. So that's like your visual indicator, like, oh, his eyes are yellow, like red, yellow, green, right? So his eyes are green. Actually, I don't think I put that on here, but his eyes are supposed to turn green when you start sneaking. Where did they go? Where did that part go? Maybe it's not in here. Maybe I skipped that part. Huh. Anyways. Okay. So okay. So then what you've got, so his eyes turn yellow, right? And then they're supposed to turn back to green. When did they go back to green? Is it up here? I don't see him turning back to green. Huh. I'm pretty sure it worked. But anyways, you have to hold still. So if he detects you here, then you have to hold still until his eyes go back to green. Okay? Once his eyes go back to green, then you can start to move again. If in that time period you move again too quickly, then it'll play this. And So I think this is on for like 4 seconds or something like that. I can't remember the timing exactly, but it's like 4 seconds. Once he's detected you, you have like 8 seconds basically that you have to hold still. If you move within that 8 seconds again, and it detects the motion again, then it plays another thing that wakes him up. And if he wakes up, oh, here's his eyes are green up here. Okay, that's what happens. So he goes back to sleep, and then his eyes are awake. And this is his input Boolean that says he's awake. Oh, so I also have an input Boolean for awake and asleep and alive and dead. That's right. Anyways, this is probably getting confusing. So once if you get caught, if you sneak a second time and he detects motion a second time, then he wakes up. And if he wakes up, his eyes turn red. He plays another voice action thing that says, "I caught you, thief. You think you could steal my treasure?" And then another sound that is a really cool dragon fire sound. And this is where I would put the smoke, or not smoke, but the fire coming out and all that stuff, the hair dryer and the streamers. I think that's a great way to do it. And then there's a delay, and then he goes back to being idle and turned off, right? So pretty cool. What do you think? Yeah, why? The face of, yeah, why? Okay, here we go. Let's try it. Hey, Gracie, you want to try it? Okay, so we're going to turn on the camera here, and I will use this camera to try and face it towards the things that Gracie is doing. Okay.
Wait, so I'm gonna try to.
You're gonna try and beat the dragon, okay?
Okay.
Uh-huh. It's too quiet.
To get the wand, you must charge it with a spell of fire or ice. Retrieve the dragon egg and heat it to charge with the blast of flame, or cool it to charge with the ice storm spell.
And so she's trying to warm it up. So she's got 1 minute to warm it up. And if you guys can't see it, but if I go back to Node Red,
done.
Oh, she did
now
it.
Approach the dragon, but move slowly and quietly. If you wake him, his fiery breath will be your doom. With the fire spell, touch the tip of the wand to the flame emblem on his chest.
Oh, he's waking up. Hold still.
What was that?
Hold still. His eyes are yellow. Okay, they're green again. Okay. Get him. Yay!
I defeated the dragon.
Congratulations, you have defeated the dragon. You can now claim his treasure if you can open the chest.
We don't have the chest right now.
Well, the staff. How do you think the staff?
Do you want to
Do you want that?
see what? Well, you know what? I can just play when he catches you. Let me just play what happens when he catches you up here. Okay. Good job, baby. Good job. Put the wand back in. You heard the dragon game? Yeah, we're playing the dragon game. And then we can play what happens if you catch him by just using an input Boolean here. Or what do you call this? Or do you want to get caught? Holly, you want to do it and get caught? Okay. Do you want to get out of soda? Once you get out of soda out of the fridge, so you can do the cold one.
So you can see what it's like to be.
Yeah, so we can do the cold spell. Holly's going to get a can of Dr. Pepper to do the cold spell. Can you do with Aleka? Not as easily, but I think you can. I'm trying to remember now if you can play spell things you saved. I think, let's see what the current temperature of that thing is. Is it back to normal? It is back to, yeah, it is. Okay, so you can do it now. Go ahead and start. His eyes did go green, but then they went back to being rainbow. So we need to.
Well done. Now approach the dragon.
It's still too hot.
Slowly and quietly.
It's still too hot.
His fiery breath will be your doom. With the fire spell, touch the tip of the wand to the flame emblem on his chest.
We gotta wait a minute because it's cool off. Why don't you cool it down now? So put the wand back in. And then just kind of cool it down now. So she's just resting a can of Dr. Pepper on there to cool it off. Okay, I'll tell you in a second here. So if I go here, I can look at the wand box temperature, 78. Okay, it's cold enough now. You can do it again. Okay, so now you can press the button to start it. It was too hot last time. Oh, there goes it, locked. Now hold it for 2 seconds. Don't take it off. Let him start talking, because I'm there. There we go.
Greetings, brave adventurer. There is a dragon guarding treasure, and only this wand can defeat him. To get the wand, you must charge it with a spell of fire or ice. Retrieve the dragon egg and heat it to charge the blast of flame, or cool it to charge with the ice storm spell.
Okay, and here you can see the temperature. So go ahead and cool it off, baby. We'll watch it drop. You have a minute. 75. It updates like every few seconds. I don't remember how many. Just keep it on there. 72. Okay, it's got to get below 70, so you're almost there. Almost there. 70.9. You're so close. You only have a minute. It's almost minutes up. Oh, you did it.
Well done. Now approach the dragon, but move slowly and quietly. If you wake him,
yeah, we want you to
his
fail.
Fiery breath will be your doom. With the ice spell, touch the wand to the snowflake emblem on his chest.
Yeah, just move it over.
He caught you.
Hey, I see you, thief. You think you can take my treasure? Taste my flames!
Oh, I'm so giddy about this thing. This is so much fun.
You love it.
I do love it. I mean, that is awesome. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Can you put the Dr. Pepper back?
Oh, yeah.
Your fingers are so cold. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Yay! So what do you think? Pretty fun, huh? All right. Way too much fun, right? Isn't that fun? That's just how it ought to be. So we want to make a whole bunch of stuff like that in the house, in the Hobbit hole. Make a bunch of things. Mwah. That'll work that way. So it should be pretty fun. So would you like to see the ESPhome sketch for that? And the streamers go crazy. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you guys enjoy it too, because it's not just me. The voiceover is great. That's my actor son, Jackson. Halloween is going to be nuts at DrZzs this year. You know, we got to put this into our little castle in the backyard and make it do some fun stuff like that. And you can make future chapters adventures. That's right. So I want to have like things in the house, just regular decorations and stuff that would, you know, can be interchangeable, right? Just you got sensors and you got lights and you've got things that are interactive in a variety of areas all around the house. And then it's just a matter of putting together a flow that uses them all in a million different combinations, right? Not a million, because that would take a long time, but dozens of different combinations. Pretty fun, huh? So when you come rent the Hobbit hole, when you guys come stay in the Hobbit hole, you get to play the game. Smart escape room side job. I would love to make it. I would love to make it so that you have, you basically like escape room, like you lock the door, you know, and you have to get out. That would be a little bit tricky. You know, you have to have kind of a, as long as somebody's watching to let you out, I guess. But anyways, I don't even have kids. Yes, such a high bar. What Wi-Fi APs do I use? I'm using all Unify stuff. So I have 2 AP Pros and 1 AP Lite and 1 of the outside ones. I can't remember what they're called. What have I walked in on, Pete? You're right. What have you walked in on? This thing is bugging me. Let's fix this. Twitch viewers and font settings. That's better. Surprised it was overloaded. Oh my, yeah. yeah, who knows? And it could be the way I got it configured. But anyways, when the Hobbit hole will be ready, I want my kids to play. Yeah. So I turned in plans. I turned in the plans on Friday, and because there's not a lot going on up there. This is not a place where there's 500 people building houses constantly, right? The planning department, which is one guy, he probably doesn't get, more than a handful a year of plans to review and stuff. So he was able to just start working on mine right away. And he wanted a little bit of structural information from the company. I'm sure we'll get that. And then we'll be, we're making progress. It'll happen. Let's go to ESPhome. So what the heck is ESPhome? What the heck is ESPhome, and why would someone want it? ESPhome, if you've never heard of it before, is a way to write software or firmware for some of these ESP boards, the 32s and the 8266. I don't know that it works with anything else, but it does work with the 32s and the 8266. And you can write something simple in YAML, which for somebody like me is very easy to understand, or for the most part, it's pretty basic, pretty simple, compared to writing in C+ or whatever Arduino language technically is. And then what ESPhome does is it translates it. It takes what you put in YAML, and it translates it into C+, creates the file that you can then upload onto your ESP8266 or 32. And it integrates with Home Assistant beautifully. It creates the entities in Home Assistant instantly. So I haven't installed ESPhome on my Home Assistant Blue. So let's do that right now. It used to be an add-on. So let's go to the add-on store and see if it is still an add-on. Guess we'll search for it. Yep, ESPhome. There it is. So here's the add-on for ESPhome, and I don't think you have to do anything other than just install it. Add it to let's go to ESPhome, press install download. If you are using SSL certificates and want to encrypt your communication, you can turn on true, start it, and then click open web UI, and that's it. Okay. So we're going to go install. Is it worth fixing in ++? Much of a performance improvement. Howard, I don't know how much ++, I don't know how much C++. Is it worth coding? Not worth fixing. Is it worth coding in C++? Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you're talking about performance issues on the programmer side, I can do ESPhome. And I've never taken a class on Arduino. I've tried. I've kind of, pulled apart other people's sketches and sort of pieced together things and got stuff to work a few times in my life. But to sit down and just go, okay, I'm going to make an Arduino sketch that's going to do this and type it out in C++, whatever. Never going to happen. At least not in my next 10 years, probably. But ESPhome I can do. Because it's YAML, I kind of understand YAML, at least formatting and stuff. There's great examples, and it includes, like Arduino, you can do tons of stuff. But ESPhome includes the stuff that I need to use. And it might be more efficient. That's great. I'm not surprised. But this certainly works, and I can do it. So that's why I'm using it. All right, so we do want Watchdog on. We do want Show in Sidebar on. Let's go to the configuration. And so that's fine. Okay, so there's nothing there that we need to do. We don't need to turn on or turn off SSL because it's already, oh no, that's different. Anyways, we don't need to turn on or turn off encryption stuff. So we should be pretty good. Okay, so we can just do start. And then we can go look at the logs and see if it's starting. That must be the end of it. Great. So we can go back here and we can go, oh, what happened to the web UI? Oh, because I just went back. And now open web UI, and here you go, ESPhome. So now you're ready to start making sketches. Let's go, instead of making a new sketch, we're going to go back to my old Home Assistant where I already made this sketch, and we'll just look at the sketch there. How does that sound? Java is bliss. C++ is finicky with memory management and pointers, addresses of variables. Okay. Software engineer, so I'm curious. I mainly see hashtag, but I can code C++. Yeah, you got to talk to somebody smarter than me. C# worm. If I understand C++, then I'd probably go that route since you may be able to customize stuff. Yeah, probably true. If you can do it yourself, if you can write your own Arduino sketches, great. Go for it. For me, this is easy. I followed Paul McWhorter. He explained the coding pretty good. He also explained the why, so you don't have to just copy and paste. I'd love to find that for YAML. That sounds good. Paul, huh? Has he got some videos online or what? Let's look at him. Looks like he does lots of Arduino stuff. Oh, he does lots of other stuff too. The Jetson Nano. Awesome. Okay. We'll subscribe to old Paul. Sweet. Thank you. Thanks for the recommendation. All right, let's go back and look. Let's look at this sketch. Now, one thing I do want to do is make sure that I don't have any secrets in here, because I Okay. So when you're making a sketch like this, here we go. And I know, I'm sorry, it's burning out your eyeballs. There's not a dark mode for this, so let's just try this. There we go. That'll work. Okay. Hey, Edgar, what's the topic today? Topic today is ESPhome and Ethernet control of devices. And I just went through this really long explanation about, has it been an hour? It's been an hour already. Wow. Went through this really long explanation of how I used one of these ESP32 Ethernet devices to make my little Internet of Things adventure game for the kids, or to resurrect it. So, is this version of ESP already good for the tag reader? Should be. Yes. Should be. Arnie, I can tell you that I'll just jump to your question real quick there. What you're seeing is me bouncing between an i3 Nook, which has been my Home Assistant computer for a long time, and the Home Assistant Blue, which is the Odroid N2 Plus. Thank you, Blade. Blade's answering the question. Okay, so when you set up this sketch, initially, you actually need still, because I think the Ethernet, the idea of the Ethernet thing is still pretty new. So when you first set up the sketch, you actually do need to include a section for Wi-Fi. Let me zoom this in so you guys can see better. Oops. Nothing worse than, whoa. Maybe I zoomed in too much. ¿Dónde fue? I did zoom in too much. I overzoomed. I've been overzoomed. It went away. Okay. Oh, shoot. I closed it. Such a dope. Okay. Anyways, what I was saying is even though you're going to use Ethernet, if you're using this Olimex PoE board, which is what I used for the Dragon, right? The red kind of rectangle one. You still have to start with Wi-Fi because ESPhome is expecting you to be using Wi-Fi devices. And when I tried to do it, when I tried to take this out, it didn't like that. It wasn't very happy about that. So what you need is this part, this Ethernet part. And fortunately for us, there are some people who have done this already, and they have got a couple of the boards already in here, but not all of them. Ethernet component. So here you go. So this is the Ethernet component. And down here, there are some examples. So fortunately, if you have, I guess, this wESP32, I don't know which one that is, but apparently that's one that's out there somewhere. This is the one that I used, the Olimex ESP32 PoE. There's also this one I have, but this is the one that you need the programmer for. That's this one. Okay, so that's this guy here. And then, one of the things that you'll see, this is actually the Ethernet chip. This LAN, there's a couple different ones, but I think most of them have been using that one. Yeah, the LAN 8720, LAN 8720, LAN 8720. There is at least one other kind. I don't remember what the numbers are, but there is at least one other. But it seems like most of them are using this. So let's see. Open Hacks. I don't know that one. I don't think that's one of the ones that I have. The one I have here is Modtronics. And then I do have, so I have the TTGo one, the LilyGo, and then I have, the LilyGo is TTGo. That's this one. So I do have that, and I just need to get the programmer out and try and work that one out. And then I have this Modtronics one, and I looked up a bunch of information about this one, and it's like super development level. And so there wasn't even a lot of documentation about it. It almost looked to me like somebody had asked them to make this, and so they made it, and then they also put it up for sale. So like somebody had a specific use case for this, and I just happened to buy like some leftovers or something, maybe, I don't know. And then there's this big one, which is also made by Olimex, and it's in here. This big Olimex one is in here. Oh, it was. Now it's gone. Oh, no. Sorry, it wasn't. It wasn't in here. I tried using this, but one of the problems I ran into with this board is that it uses GPIO 12 for, I think it was for, this has an IR. This has an IR sender and receiver. So this would be really cool because this board comes with 2 relays and an infrared sending and receiving LED. So that's pretty cool. This one and the other one actually have an SD card as well. So there's a lot of stuff you can do with these if you know how to program them. And I can't get into Arduino and do a lot of this stuff. So I'm stuck with just what I can do with ESPhome, which is okay. That's fine with me. And in fact, if all I could ever do is just use this Olimex ESP32 PoE board that I used for the Dragon, I'd be great. That would be fine. I'm going to try and use this one. I'm going to try and use this other LilyGo one because this one's also pretty common. But this Olimex one is, like I said, $17. So that's not too bad. You have a support base to help you. All right, cool. Well, let's, I'll put some specs out there and we'll see what we can figure out as far as, how to use these things for this kind of stuff, especially this one. This one's a bit more expensive. I can't remember what it cost. It might have been about $30, but when you think about it, it's got the 2 relays and the infrared stuff on there. I actually did write a sketch for that big one, and I wrote it and then it didn't work. And so it didn't work with the Ethernet connection part. And so I just put it off to the side. I need to go through the, what's this one? I need to go through the schematic maybe again and try and figure out why it didn't work. But here, you can see it. Wipe out passwords first. I know, no fun, right? So this is this EVB, this Olimex EVB, the big one with the relays. And what I was able to do is figure out that there's relays and on which pins they're on, and that there's infrared receiver and transmitter and which pins they're on. And then I was going to set up the temperature sensor and a button and the lights. But I didn't get a chance to test all this other stuff down here because I couldn't get the Ethernet part to work. And this, I think, is the problem. It's this power pin GPIO 12, which is also here, right? It's actually physically connected to this transmitter already. So there is a stream today. What did I miss? Oh, hey, Chris. No, you didn't miss nothing. It's all good. The Discord projects channel would be great. All right, we should put it there. All right, let's do a celebration for all of the subscribers and followers that have popped up in the last little bit that I haven't got to say hi to. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. We're doing Ethernet, ESPhome Ethernet stuff today, because that's what's on my mind. And did I navigate away from Quindor's picture that he sent me? Doggone it. So Quindor posted a link. If we scroll up here, Quindor posted a link to his ESP32s. And for those of you who are just getting here, yesterday Quindor did a stream and he revealed, oh, that's awesome. He revealed his latest invention. And yes, that will be available at the DrZzs store and Quindor's international store here in the next few months. What this is the down here at the bottom is the regular old DigUno. No changes to the DigUno. There may be some things you can't do when you're using Ethernet, but I don't remember what it was. Some of this different pin stuff and maybe the temperature thing. I can't remember exactly what it was. But as far as the LED function, if you're just running a strip of LEDs, this won't change your functionality at all. It's going to still work just fine. So the first thing that you see down here, the middle layer of this sandwich, is a brand new Quin LED, or I don't even know if you're going to call it Quin LED. I'm not sure what you're going to call it. Do you have a name for it yet, Quindor? Basically, it's a custom-made ESP32 board that plugs in, because these just aren't quite cutting it. This is the ESP32, or the 32 mini it's called, and they're just okay. They haven't been, we've had a lot of reliability problems, and we wanted to, or Quindor wanted to be able to do some other things, make it better. So that's what you see hidden down here is a custom ESP32 module, basically, the Quin32 or something. And then on top of that is a hat that is Ethernet. So there will be a time in the not too distant future when you will be able to have Ethernet control of your wLED controllers. What do you think? Look at that blue. Boy, that's pretty, isn't it? It is a hat. Need the dancing squirrels? Okay, but that means I'm going to have to talk through the dancing squirrels, because if I don't talk when I play this song, I get a copyright infringement. And I don't want YouTube to take the $8 I might earn from this stream. I just finished my daughter's room with an ESP32 DigUno, and it's a little flaky sometimes. Seems to bog down. How many LEDs do you have running on it, Mike? It's an ESP32 DigUno, so you should be pretty good. Maybe is it the Ethernet thing? What are you trying to? Are you running it on? Well, even if you're running it on X lights, I mean, it should be good up to, gosh, certainly 1,000, 1,200 LEDs. You shouldn't have a problem. 401, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem at all. No, Chris, right now it's not going to support PoE, and I don't know that that's part of the future, because you're already going to be supplying power here anyways for the LEDs. So this power will power the board like it has in the past through this. So at least not in the short term. And that's all I know about that for now. Video Raspberry Pi Pico. Oh gosh, I don't know what to do with the Raspberry Pi Pico, to be honest. Not yet, I don't. Maybe someday I will. It works. Maybe just wLED being slow. Could be. That's funny. I wonder if, is it a, so when, Mike, is it the effects? So when you're watching the effects, are the effects not transitioning good? Are they kind of stuttering or causing problems? Or is it like you click on it, you tell it to do something and it doesn't do it right away, or you tell it to do something and it doesn't do it, or the board is not like is it a Wi-Fi connection thing, or is it an ESP32 brain function thing? That's what I'm getting at. 2 devices are using. Oh, you know what, Panda? I would have to defer those questions to DigiBlur, because I don't know too much about those. I do know, I was just watching Travis's video, DigiBlur. I was watching a video he did not long ago about that chip that some of these companies were using, and at least what he was reporting in that video was that it looked like for a little while they were switching to a different chip, but that now some of the newer devices are still using the ESP8266. So I don't know if there was, a tease. Maybe they thought they could get a better, cheaper kind of device, chip instead of the ESP32 chip, and then it turned out it wasn't any better or any cheaper. So they went back to ESP32, or what the situation is there, honestly. But anyways, I would say get as many. This is what Travis did, was he bought a bunch of ESP32 based devices. He's like, if they're going away, I'm going to buy as many as I can. But yeah, you can push almost 100 watts. Yeah. Well, you might be able to. There may be a time. There may be a time, Chris, but not with this. Not yet. Wi-Fi is good. I have Unify overkill at my house, 4 Unify access points. You know what, Mike? I have 4 Unify access points as well, and it still doesn't make my Wi-Fi all happy. Oh well. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Oh, let's look at this. Let me just put this out there for everybody. Olimex. Wait, am I saying it wrong? Oh, Elimex. Olimex. Yeah, I want the this one. I will give Olimex a lot. So I've not used Olimex stuff prior to this, but I like them right now. I mean, they're like up there in my favorites. Part of the reason is because they make so much stuff available. Like right here on their product, on their homepage, you can get right to their schematic of that device. Let's put it on the desktop for now. Desktop. Oh, it's already there. Look at that. Yeah, it's already there. I was already looking at it. So anyways, somewhere in here, we'll have to sort out what we got to do to get that thing to power. So here's the Ethernet thing, and I just haven't gone through here and figured out which pin it is, but I would bet you if I figured out which pin is the power pin and then set that correctly in the ESPhome sketch, it would probably work. At least that would be my next step. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat. And anybody who wants to figure that out, let me know. Yeah, 52 volt LED strips would not need to lower the voltage. Is there such a thing? I'm probably right. I'm going to stick with my nice cheap 5 volt WS2812s. Oh, you got me curious here, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Oops, sorry. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it right now. Okay. Let's see. Should support. Wait, what happened? Oh, should support 3.5 with IPs. So what I'm seeing. Wait, what is it? What's the matter, Mike? Are you not? I guess I missed the first part of that. Let's answer some questions. Let's go to the questions page and answer some questions. That's what I want to do. I want to answer some questions. The Ask channel. Whoop, whoop. The Ask. Questions. Live questions. All right, here we go. Mr. Fixer says, just bought a Dig Uno you talked about segment. Is it possible to have it split in 4, then all green, and at certain times each section turn amber, then red, so it can be used as a visual aid timer? Oh, I would think so. Let's can see. Okay, so you'd have to. All right, well, we're gonna do a little bit of. Oh, we haven't done the semi truck. DrZzs semi truck. There we go. That's for you, Blade. So let's think about how you would do that. So you make your segments, right? So I thought I had a segments for these, but apparently I didn't. Oh, maybe I do down here. Yeah, I do. All right. So I've got segments here. So then what you're going to want to do, let me think about how you would do this. You would do it with a macro. You would do it with a macro like this, but you would probably only want it to turn on certain segments. So that would need to be, oops, no, that one. If somebody else already answers this, let me know. Patreon supporter for quite some time. How do I get my name on the list? Scarlax, your name is not on the list? What? What? That is not right. What you have to do is just bring it to my attention. What's up? Oh, thanks. And then what I have to do is update the list, because it's not a dynamic list necessarily. It's not a dynamic list. It's a list that just I have to go manually update from time to time. So that's why, Scarlax, that's why you're not on the list. But I'll make myself a note of it. Update. I've done it. I did it. It's been a few months, I'm sure, since I did it. Update the Patreon list. Stream list. And there is a way to get a dynamic list. I just haven't taken the time to figure it out. Still FX single color. Hey, Photochromax, how you doing, buddy? Just realized the Pi I set up a few weeks back, I changed the password. Now I can't recall it. Oh, need to go pull the drive. Dang it. That's a bummer. Oh, you guys are talking. Okay. We should add that to the list. Which thing? Oh, the list of things to do. The list of improvements, stream improvements. Twitter says I'm streaming. Oh, it's about time. You did something wrongly. Never, Scarlax. Never, never, never. Never, never. No way. No way, Jose. You've been around forever, Scarlax. I'm surprised your name's not on the list. I'm very sorry. What is it's the search card? I believe it is the search card. Let's look and see real quick. Yeah, custom search card. I love it. It's actually, when you have a lot of entities like I do in my old version of Home Assistant here, you know, this main, it's still my main, but it is transitioning over to the blue. When you have a ton of devices, if you do that, like, what is it? Control E, or no, if you're on here, that was Control E. Control M, just M there. If you do this sometimes, for me, it can bog down like that right there. It's kind of froze. Like I'm typing and it's kind of freezing because there's so many entities, right? But for some reason, this search box here seems to be a bit faster. See, it doesn't bog down. I think it's because the searching component that Frank and them put in, this E or the M, I think is the other one you can do, right? I thought it was M. Not M? Huh. Anyway, that I think is like searching immediately. Like it's trying to search while you're typing. This one waits till you're done typing, I think. It waits a little bit longer. Gosh, all of a sudden I'm hoarse. No, Labuski, I did not want to just copy my Home Assistant instance over. And the reason is, oh, C. Thank you, Zach. How you doing, by the way? There it is. Yep, C. Thank you. The reason I didn't want to copy everything over is because my Home Assistant, I've been running this Home Assistant since like, I don't even remember what version number. I want to say 50 something, maybe 70 something. I don't remember. It's been 3 years. Well, since 2017. Since about this time of year, since about this time in 2017. And so a lot of things have changed. A lot of things I've done and then tried to undo. And so there's little remnants of stuff I don't even know where it is or how it's set up anymore, and things have changed so much. So I need to purge a little bit. I need to do like a deep clean. I need a colon cleanse for my Home Assistant. So I didn't want to just bring it over. Since it crashed and I wiped it out, that's true. So that was MQTT Mageddon. Well, no, I even backed up then. No, I restored a backup. I restored a backup then. So good enough. And it was just that I lost a couple months worth of work at that point. So when did I do the solar power thing? It's been a while. Over the summer, I think I put it up. Thank you for subscribing. Okay, so we were talking about this, and what we were trying to do was look at how you would do a specific segment. So what I want to see is there a control command here that would just do a specific segment? But what you want is you want at a certain time for a certain segment to change color. That should totally be possible. I don't know exactly what the parameters would be, but I cannot believe that would not work somehow. Segments. Segment start, segment stop, group spacing, brightness, set, segment selected. This API to call. I've done a video on my solar power system. I have not. I don't, but I should. I have a lot of footage of things that I filmed that I've never put into a video. Is that useful? No, it's not. We do need one for Zach. Thank you, Sir Goodenough, for doing that. That's awesome. You know what else we need one for? I was looking at a couple other guys. Well, I don't want to get too squirreled out of the way here, but I want to talk about a few other guys that I've watched that I thought did a really good job. One of them was Lewis. Have you guys watched Lewis, who does everything smart home? He's a good guy for looking at some stuff. I like that we've got some of these new guys. My fingers are struggling today, struggling mightily. Smart home solver. I guess not big enough to get out here yet. Not big enough to hit the Googles. But if we search here, this guy, he's done a good job. He's been doing good. So if you haven't, if you haven't seen Lewis, check him out. We highlighted Zach the other day. Today we're going to highlight Lewis. And Lewis doesn't know I did this. All right. Does anybody have a solution for this? Adding buttons made my wife happy. Oh, good, Paul. Good job. Got to make the wife happy. Just ping me with names. I'll split them out. But about 70 of the 100 commands are in DrZzs. Oh, well, I can change DrZzs too. Did I not give you access to DrZzs? Is it good enough? I'm sorry. All right, well, let's ask another question, or we'll answer another question. Since Mr. Fixers, I'm sure that there's a way, and if I could just think clearly for a minute, I would be able to solve that, but I can't think of it right now. His video quality is pretty good, isn't it? I don't have a tutorial, Pogster, but what I do have is a gist. And the gist is like a little nugget of code. It's a little nugget. Here's my whole Lovelace. So here's my gist, all my gist links. Probably make one for that. So good enough. That's Nightbot command list. Is at 75% full. Oh, really? Oh, you can only have so many. Is that what you're saying? Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know there was a limit. Wow. Open up your browser incognito mode and then search that smart home stuff. Oh, okay. To see if you can find him. Hey, Shark Tamers here. How's it going? But I did also put in here the bar solar card. So when you go to that GIST GitHub sniper cane, It's my old Xbox gamer tag before it was DrZzs. This solar card is in here too. So it's the custom bar card, and then this is just how I did it. And you got to have energy meters, obviously, tuned in. And to get the energy meters tuned in, I use solar outpost, PV outpost, or PV outpost, I think. And then what's the other stuff? Oh, and then I use the energy monitoring system, simple circuits or something like that. One of these days, Hive will be on Twitch someday. What is that? Me, Blade? Am I dragging my feet on that? Am I keeping you from getting Hive to take over Twitch? All right. How is the Marks class going? Oh, it feels awesome. Do I feel it's worth it? Absolutely. Better to do with others or independently? You know, I don't think it matters too much. I am doing it with a couple of friends that live here close by that I've done lots of projects with in the past, but I don't think you need to. You know, it's so cool, this Mark Rober class. So that's what HQ 216 is talking about. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it's this Mark Rober's class. And let's see, curriculum. I want to go back and look. Yeah, so he's got all these videos, and he spends hours talking to you about your projects. What are you doing, buddy? Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. To anybody who has got a Dig Uno coming, Dawson just grabbed a whole stack of labels to go keep packaging them all. I printed all, I don't even know how many there were, probably close to 500 labels, and we just got to get them all packaged and shipped out. That was what he was grabbing. Anyways, I think I'm hoping, and I'll be really disappointed if it goes away, but I'm hoping that we get to keep access to this, because these videos are really useful. Because Mark Rober is a really smart guy, and this is hours and hours of good content of him explaining his process, how he goes through thinking about things, and why he does them, and how it works and how it doesn't work. And it's really useful. It's really useful. So I hope we get to keep this. I hope we get to keep access to this, because I can see myself going back and watching these in a couple years or something. Do I need a haircut, Eric? Is it getting kind of long? You ordered the Max, Mike? Thank you. Thank you for only ordering the Max. There's people who ordered beyond the Max. Unfortunately, not very many, so we'll sort that out. Okay. When connecting your alarm, originally, let's see. Let me go through in order. All right. So, Sir Charles, how to access Reolink cameras that are on a Reolink NVR. I do not know, Sir Charles. I do not know, and it looks like it's possible in the component, in the Reolink integration. It looks like it's possible, but I haven't tried it, and I know that it's very possible and fairly easy if you have cameras that are not NVR only. Only about half of my cameras, or less than half of my cameras, are NVR only. But I don't want to. There's two ways to get them into the NVR. You can the NVR can pull in network cameras that are connected to your network first, and then are pulled into the NVR. Or there's cameras that are just connected directly to the NVR, and the NVR gives them their own IP address. With only one exception, all my cameras, two exceptions, all my cameras are that way. So of my 15 cameras, 2 of them are connected to the network first and then to the NVR. The rest of them are all connected directly to the NVR. For those that are connected directly to the NVR, right now I don't know if the integration lets you see those cameras in Home Assistant. Maybe, maybe not. I wish I could tell you. Asked by Real Dynamite, anyone have good tip of how to use the double, triple, quadro, long and short press from, say, a T1 switch MQTT in Home Assistant? Well, when I've done double press and long press and short press for LED controlling. So when I've got LED controls in the girls' room, a long press toggled the lights. So if you press it and hold it, it'll turn on. Or if it's off, it'll turn off. I'm sorry, if it's on, it'll turn off. If I wanted to, what was double press? Quick press cycled through, like each quick press was just go to the next preset, go to the next preset, go to the next preset. Then there was a double press. I can't remember what I used the double press for. I think double press was a specific preset, like the bedtime one. At bedtime, we like to just turn them on real dim blue. And so we just double press them and it turns on a real dim blue. So that's my idea for that. Would I recommend using the Intel NUC? You know what, Arnie? At this point, only if you have one. Only if you have one that you're not using for something else, or you can get one cheap. Because the advantage to using the NUC really was getting away from the SD card as a hard drive for the Raspberry Pi. That was why I did it. That was almost the whole reason why I did it. But now you can use the Odroid, which has whatever you call it, the EM2 drive. So it's not a SD card, so it's not going to crash and burn and die when you do a bunch of reads and writes. And at the time, it wasn't nearly as easy to do backups. So even if you were using a Pi, now you could do backups pretty easily to Google Drive and have a daily backup so that if you did have a dead SD card, you don't lose much. And you can do other kinds of long-term drive on the Raspberry Pi 4, which didn't exist back then either, a year or two ago, right? So now you can do, I think people are doing, solid state drives. I don't know for sure about a USB, like a regular thumb drive. I don't know if that would be any better than an SD card, but certainly SSD drives are being used. So I don't know. I would definitely say for Home Assistant itself, you don't need to go out and buy a NUC. The other reason to have a NUC is if you wanted to just run Home Assistant in a virtual machine on the NUC and then use the rest of the capabilities of the NUC for other stuff, which is not a bad idea. You can do WireGuard, you can do other instances of Linux or Windows or whatever you'd like. Thanks for subscribing, guys. We're going to do some. Okay, so does that answer your question? So generally, I would probably say you don't need a NUC, but Chris says he's been running Home Assistant installed on an Odroid HC1 with 32 gigabytes eMMC and SATA port. Fantastic. Is there a way to get the analog cameras in Home Assistant from QC connected to the network via Ethernet? I have no idea, Edgar. Wow, we got a lot of subscribing going on. Thanks, everybody. Dun, 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 dun. Are there plans for the 100K subscriber celebration? Is this another one of these gifts? Thank you very much, everybody, for subscribing. Welcome, welcome. Is this another one of those where everybody's on Twitch, like somebody's gifting a bunch of subs? DrZzs. Thanks for subscribing. Twitch subs expire every month and must be renewed. That's true. John Paul, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to have to do, did we already do the unicorns? We should do the unicorns too. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, so the 100,000 subscriber party. So what we're going to do is, I think we're going to use Madison Square Garden, probably. We'll just rent out the whole place and just have everybody gather. No. So 100,000 subscribers. There's been a couple things that I'm just going to keep on doing these. Thank you for everybody that's brand new subscribing. Welcome aboard. The 100,000 subscriber thing, what I'm going to do is a 12-hour stream and a home tour. Those are the two big things. I would love, in a perfect non-COVID world, to do some sort of a meetup, here in Utah, but that's probably not wise just yet. So maybe we'll have to do that at some point in the future when they finally let us do gatherings again. we'll do a meetup here in Utah, and anybody who's here in Utah, great, come over. Well, probably won't be at the house, but we'll find a place and we'll come together. And then anybody who wants to come out, I don't want you to have to go very far, but man, thank you very much, everybody. So all these new folks that are showing up, are you really new? Are you just now discovering the channel, or is this, did we get a raid or something, or just, how you doing? Home tour. Do I use any smart irrigation in my garden? I don't, Scarlax. I would like to. At some point I might. But I actually, at this point, our yard is pretty low water requirements. Like we've got a patch of grass in the front yard that's probably not 300 square feet of grass in the front yard. It's really not very big. And that's the only yard we have. So we do have sprinklers on it. And I have opened up my sprinkler box and looked at it and figured out how would I smartify it. But, I'm probably not, I certainly don't have a system like that, at the ready to share with anybody. So been a fan for a while, just going around subscribing. Thank you very much. That's 100,000 YouTube subs, right? Because 100,000 Twitch subs would be like 450. Yeah, no, if it's 100,000 Twitch subs, we will definitely rent out Madison Square Garden and just have everybody come and we'll all have a party. We'll drink Dr. Pepper. No, I don't know how many Twitch subs, honestly. I've looked at times in the past, but I like Twitch a lot. I want to do gaming. I want to do like a side channel and just play games. Just use a Sonoff 4-channel for a 4-channel relay. Yeah, I think that's all you need. I mean, when I was looking at the sprinkler systems, and I don't know, you guys who have sprinkler systems can pipe in here, smart sprinkler systems that aren't like off the shelf. My guess is it's going to be similar to like a thermostat, where basically all you have is a sensor, which in this case would be a timer and or water sensor, moisture sensor in the yard. You could probably even tie it into your weather so you can know if there's rainfall, right? If the rainfall is above a certain percentage, likelihood or whatever, then it doesn't go on. Those things as sensors. And then the outputs is just relays. Just click a couple wires together and your sprinklers come on in a certain zone, right? And you timer to turn them off. So all the parts are there. It shouldn't be difficult to put them together. That's what's so awesome about if once you get the tools in your hands to be able, Ian, I am no good. I am no good in Among Us, Ian. I am no good. Ian, for those of you who didn't get to see that message, because he said he would kick my butt, kick my booty in Among Us. We have professional sprinkler people in Discord. There you go. I am not surprised. Hey, Keaton, how's it going? Have I ever looked at the brilliant smart home in-wall touch screens? I think I have. But let's poke at him real quick. How you doing, by the way, Keaton? How you doing? Yeah, I've seen these. In fact, I think I saw these at CES last year. Has anybody hacked them? I don't know though, man. I think you get an old phone. Like how hard would it be? Maybe this is what I need to do. Maybe this is something I need to do. Oh, I totally could do this. Get just an old smartphone that doesn't work so great anymore as a phone, and put it in a nice case on the wall, power it up, and then put a Lovelace dashboard on it in fully kiosk browser so it never goes to sleep, and then make a Lovelace dashboard for it. That's what I would do. But these do look cool. They definitely look cool. But what I was saying about sprinklers, so once you have the tools in hand, you've got Home Assistant, you know how to make ESPhome sketches or use Tasmota or something like that, where you can do your own custom stuff. You don't have to, rely on something out of the box. You can say, oh, I want mine to have a temperature sensor, or I want mine to have a light, an LED that changes colors. Then, man, the world's your oyster, right? You can do anything. And Node-RED. You get Node-RED in there, and Node-RED does all the logic, where you figure out how you want it to integrate with the weather and all that kind of stuff. So you need to learn more about Home Assistant? Come on over, Tech Turtle. I know LEDs have your attention, but the season between Christmas and Valentine's Day, which speaking of Valentine's Day, I hope Mrs. Z's isn't watching, but I got an idea for making something for Valentine's Day. Tasmota teach video. Oh, I got back into Tasmota a little bit doing this wand box for my little thing here. And I always said for Tasmota, oh, is it not connecting really? Oh, there it is. This is Tasmota on the wand for the game. So, am I going to propose again? Maybe. This is 21 years. We'll be 21 years in May. 21 years of marriage. Seems like 5 minutes. Underwater. I'm sorry, dad jokes. Anyways, she'll kill me. So Tasmota, my mantra for Tasmota and for Home Assistant and stuff for a long time, and it has been, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's working, don't upgrade it. I've had plenty of my Tasmota devices that are like version 5.6, or I think I even had some that were 5.2 for Tasmota, 3 years old. And I haven't updated them because they were working. So why update them if they're working? The exception to that is if there's some brand new functionality that you really want, that you really think you can't do without. And I got to say that Tasmota has hit that point right now with version 9.2, because the Tasmota integration for Home Assistant is brilliant. And if you want your Tasmota devices to just appear in Home Assistant, just like ESPhome devices, you need to be running version 9.2 of Tasmota. Any version earlier than that, and you'll have to go in. You can do MQTT discovery, but it seems to me that this 9.2 integration is more complete than MQTT discovery. So I'm liking this a lot, and it actually has me ready to update all my Tasmota devices. Isn't that crazy? I'll pay someone. I need first device help. Uh-oh. Smart Assist is ready. Tasmota is dead. Long live ESPhome. No, I wish it's not. Tasmota is not dead. Tasmota is alive and well. 26 years. Congratulations, Jason. That's fantastic. No, not only is Tasmota alive and well, Tasmota is still improving. There's a couple things that Tasmota does that I haven't got to play with yet that have been on my list. One of them is the motor control. So Tasmota has a way, and I don't know if it's just PWM or how exactly it does it, but Tasmota has, for like steppers or something, I don't know, but Tasmota has motor control functionality. So if you connect a motor controller, the control pin of a motor controller to an ESP device that's running Tasmota, there is a way now in Tasmota component that probably has been for a while. I think it's been on my investigation list for over a year probably that I want to try it out. It can turn that motor on and send it in a certain direction and those kinds of things. So I'd really like to learn how to do that with Tasmota because I haven't done it yet. DIY Tech Repairs, how you doing? How you doing? IT support guy, what about software bugs, security flaws? You should always update to keep the bad actors out. Yeah, that's true. But this is all stuff inside my home that doesn't have access to the internet, at least not directly. But yeah, you're right. For some devices like anything that has access to the internet, or I guess if somebody could get on your home network somehow, like if they were at your house or driving by and being nefarious, then sure. Pretty interesting about Home Assistant's security issues this last week or so. Have you guys all looked into that? So they kind of went in and discussed it a little bit, at least. Frank wrote up, I think Frank wrote this up probably, about which custom components had some sort of vulnerability that was found. And really the thing to do is just to update Home Assistant to the latest version. But yeah, not the first time this has happened. I think the first time that there's been a big public thing like this that says update Home Assistant right now. There's been other times where people have, usually of their own accord, gotten their Home Assistant instance hacked or something. But it was, typically people just opening up a port to the internet and then having their password accessible, or not having a password or something like that. But I block MAC addresses at the router for suspect devices. Yeah. Checking in to see what you talk about today. Oh, thanks. Well, what we're talking about today, and I'm getting close to being done, honestly, because I got to go to work. I got to spend a few minutes with the kids and have some dinner, and then I got to go work the night shift tonight. But what we were talking about today was ESP32 Ethernet connected devices. And we did show some stuff about Quindor's device, which, did I close that window again? Darn it. I did. Oh, well. But we showed this big game, basically, that I made with ESP32 Ethernet device and ESPhome and Node Red to play a game. That was like the whole first hour of the stream. And then we talked about ESPhome a little bit, installed ESPhome on my new Home Assistant Blue. And then we were just answering some questions. Home VPN is not a big problem nowadays. I love Home VPN. I love Home VPN. In fact, we were talking about Lewis, right? We were talking about Lewis here and his Everything Smart Home channel. And he does a great job. And I watched this video. And he did a great job. But there it is. Thank you very much, Quindor. You keep this. Oh man, you take such good pictures. Can I get you to do our family photos? Sorry, squirreled again. Anyways, I was watching this video and it was very well explained, but it's still complicated. It's still complicated. And I know for those of you and those of us, maybe me, I can probably fall in this category at this point. But for those of us that do this stuff, it seems like, oh, you just put this here and this IP address here and you install this add-on and you put this number in this box and you do these things. But for somebody who's doing this for the first time, it's like, what just happened? Like you lost me on step 16, you know? So to me, the solution that I would recommend first solution if you want remote access and you want safe access to Home Assistant over the internet is just do Nabu Casa. But even if you do Nabu Casa, which I do, it's still a really good idea to set up a VPN server at your house so that when you connect from your devices from outside your house, it's about as secure as it can be. So it doesn't matter where I am on my phone. If I want to go to 192.168.1. Whatever that was, 160 for that Tasmota box, I can control all my wLED controllers. I can look at any of my Home Assistant instances or anything else that's internal to my network, my cameras, all that stuff they each don't have to have their own access to the internet. They have to be on my home network, and then I have to be able to get to my home network from wherever I am. And with the WireGuard add-on for Home Assistant, it's not like super easy, but it's probably a lot easier. Not probably. It's a lot easier than this. It's a lot fewer steps than that. It's not too hard. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. I'll get off that now. Yeah. Can't do the Nabu Casa per month. That's cool. And if you can't, then don't. That's okay. You know, it really is okay. But WireGuard's free also. These things are free. Doing the Duck DNS and Let's Encrypt and all that is free also. But man, Home VPN, you can just do everything. It's just like being in your home. And it's set up so that anything that I need to connect to, like if I'm on my phone, anything that I need to connect to when I'm, that's not in my home, it doesn't use my home network. So it uses my phone data, which I have plenty of, instead of my home data. And if I do it the other way, it would probably be using both. If I'm using my phone to connect to my home and then to connect to the internet, I'm getting sort of double charged, right? For that bandwidth, whatever I'm using. If I'm watching a video that way, I'm basically using twice as much bandwidth to do that. So I have it set so that anything else on my phone that I access, like YouTube or whatever, just goes straight to YouTube. But if I want to access a wLED controller in my house, I do it on my phone. It's there, no problem. And it just does it automatically. Like I have not had to mess with it for a year. So it's really awesome. Nabu Casa is gone thanks to DrZz's awesome video. Nabu Casa? No. No, hombre. No, hombre, ¿cómo cree? I'm screwed because my ISP puts me behind a NAT. Oh, well, that's probably true. We also support the home system developers with Nabu Casa. That's right. Split tunnel. Ooh. Nabu Casa is needed for and other integrations, but to access HA on a home VPN is better, easier, and safer. That's true. So Nabu, that's why even though I use a home VPN, I still like Nabu Casa. With the whole, what it costs or supporting the project aside, to me, I would do that for those guys anyways, because I love those guys and they're great and they're my friends and I want to support them. But you get a few other things with Nabu Casa that you don't get even when you do this or when you do home VPN kind of things. It's Nabu Casa is got several more things to it than just remote access. The Alexa integration, so that you can say, so Alexa and Google Home basically know all your devices. You say, Alexa, turn on the lights, and she knows what to do. Yeah, you can do that for free too. You can. And the setup's not terrible. So that's okay. Same thing with Google Home. You can do that for free. It's okay. It's not that hard. You can do it. But it's so easy with Nabu Casa. It's just there. And webhooks, which I still haven't done for Blade and Sir Goodenough to page me, but I will. But webhooks, where you can, have something triggered from outside of your home network, trigger something inside your home network. That's a great thing. The funnest thing lately is that whole Google Cloud Say. You guys remember? I don't know how many of you guys were around when we were playing with that Google Cloud Say, but I've got it set up now. Let's go look at my Node-RED again. So I've got it set up now so that I have a separate. I know I've zoomed way out so you can see, but I got to zoom in a little bit. Oops. I got to zoom out a little bit so you can see. Okay, so this is my announcements flow. All right, so I've got a few things that I push a button or I do something and it sends an announcement. All right, so bedtime announcement, dinner time announcement, a few of these things. I don't know why some of these are disconnected. Maybe they become unplugged. I bet they did come unplugged. Dad's Office API error. What? Anyways, these are all going to Alexa devices. And down here, these are Google Home devices. And this is sending, basically a text-to-speech message to each Alexa device. And if I press that button, it also sends it to these Google Home devices, or I have a separate one just for Google Home devices. And the reason I have a separate one just for Google Home devices is because in each of these, I've got it set to do something funny. Like if you look at this is going to the main floor and it's in what is that, Hindi, I think? So, and the funny thing is if you type in, you're using Google Cloud Say as your text-to-speech service. If you type in words in English, but you tell somebody who normally speaks Hindi to say it, they say it just with a really strong accent. So it's a lot of fun, right? I've got the one here in my office. The one here in my office is Russian. So here in Dad's office, it's this Russian lady that says stuff to me. And so when we say like the bedtime announcement is scriptures and prayer, pajamas and teeth, scriptures and prayer, pajamas and teeth, right? Just over and over again. So when she says that, she just says it with a Russian accent and it is hysterical to me. It's really funny. When I was playing with it the other day, I did, which one was it I did? I did one that was Irish. That one is, is it the basement one? No, this one's Spanish. Maybe this one, maybe it was this one. Because maybe I changed it to Ireland. No, I had one that was Ireland. Anyways, I had one that it was supposed to be English Ireland, right? So you just got a really strong Ireland accent. And I sent a message to just one of the Google Homes when I was testing it. I was watching it in Node-RED too, so I could see when it worked. And I sent the message and I said, because I know it's up here in the hallway by the laundry room upstairs. And so I said something like, "Hi, I'm a little leprechaun hiding in your laundry." And Mrs. Z's was at home. And so I get a text from her going, "There's a leprechaun in my laundry? Like, what is going on?" Like, she'd never heard that voice before. And so for me to be able to play it in, and it's really smooth. It sounds really good. So let's try something. So if I go here to my blank text to speech box, I can say something like this. Let's see. Well, this is a test of the emergency broadcast system. You guys remember this message? You guys in the US from 30 years ago? Emergency broadcast system. This is only a test. Let's try that. So if I do done and then deploy, and then I trigger this.
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test.
Okay. I just like it. It's really a lot of fun. So, and that's because you get to play with Google Cloud Say, which is a Google text-to-speech service that's better and more options than the typical Google text-to-speech that's free. So anyways, it's fun. All right, let's answer a couple more questions and then we'll be done for the day pretty soon here in just a minute. Let's see. Jason says, is it possible to get a node red to have two inputs that have to be true before moving on? My idea is to turn off the light if after sunset is true and home is occupied. Yeah, absolutely. Basically, what you're setting is conditions. That's how I would think about them in YAML. I'm still learning Node Red. I don't know how to do everything very well yet, but guys like Blade and a whole bunch of others, we got a whole Node Red channel. So if you, what I would suggest you do, Jason, go in there and play around a little bit, give it a try, and see what you can do on yourself. Spend a little bit of time tinkering with it, see what you can find. And then when it's not working, which it probably won't the first time you're trying to figure it out, then go into the Node Red channel in Discord and ask. Just say, hey guys, I put this flow together. I'm trying to do this. Can somebody give me the tips to how to get it right? I don't know right off the top of my head. But actually, if you look at what I did for the game, I probably have some situations here where there needs to be two criteria for it to move on. I can't remember. You mean like this wait and see? One thing that I wanted to use here that I expected that I didn't find was when you use like this, some of these entity states, like current state node. The current state node seems to me to only check the state when it's been triggered. So when it gets an input into the input side, then it checks the state. But if it doesn't get that input, or at the moment that it gets that input, it checks the state and it doesn't check the state any other times. That's why I used the wait until feature. But is there another one there? I'm not reading. You're right. What is it? Help me, Blade. Help me. Sorry. Read another question. Mitch asks, did you hear about the stuff they are changing at Unify? No, removing functions from products and enforcing cloud accounts. Are you kidding? Is that really happening at Unify? That sucks. He never does. We used a different node. Okay, good. Blade and Jason are figuring stuff out. Good. Is that really true? Is that verified that this is happening? Harry, I have not used a RoboDin AC light dimmer module. Sorry, buddy. Can't help you. I don't know anything about it. Okay. And then, we're almost down to the bottom of the questions. When connecting your alarm, originally your lines labeled and there was some signal testing you had to do. So my lines are labeled. And it's not great. Like it's a phone, it's like a two-wire cable, and they wrote on it in like a Sharpie. So it's really hard to figure out, but it, I think, gets the point across. I can figure it out, right? Harry, if you want to ask a question, yeah, that's not the way. I don't want to be mean, but there's you ask by putting in a little tilde, type your question, and it goes to the question box, and then we answer it. By spamming it 50 times, it's not going to help. Oh, you done with all the ones? Oh my gosh. Okay, gonna be a busy day at the post office tomorrow when they get all these out. So what was I saying about that? The alarms. So otherwise, yes, you would have to do some testing. And so the testing would require a couple of people one way or the other, right? You'd have to connect it up, and then you'd have to go open the door and see which one triggers, kind of thing, right? So it's kind of sucky to do it that way, but I think when I hooked up my connecteds, I had to do it that way. And my guess is when I finish up this thing, when I do finish up my Arduino Mega alarm board, I will probably have to do a little bit of testing to figure out where some of the things are that that maybe aren't labeled or aren't labeled so well. Thanks for the subscribing. We'll do this. Boom. All right. New security bug upgrade. Yep, that's right. Tell us. Yes. Upgrade to 21.1.5. You know what, Chris? I can ask you that. I saw the site changed. Yes. So the Permatrac site is up. Permatrac.us is live, but we're not taking orders yet. And there will be some changes still to this before we actually go live and start taking orders again. So it's probably still a few weeks, 2 weeks, I'd say, before we're able to take orders again, or before we're ready to take orders again. Couple reasons for that. One of them is the track is still not physically here. And the big problem before was that the system that Mike, RGB Man, was using was not tracking inventory for back orders. And so we ended up, I just got a message again from somebody yesterday who ordered in October and still doesn't have it. And unfortunately, this shipment of track that we're waiting for, I paid for in October. So you're not the only ones waiting. But one of the reasons that this has all changed is to make a better system for order tracking, and we're not going to oversell again. So this is the things that have to happen. The Permatrac has to arrive to us, and we got the message, that it has landed. It has hit land. So it shouldn't be too much longer before it gets to us. But then we're going to go back and fill all of the orders that have been waiting since October. And then we'll assess how much we have in stock, and then we will list that much for sale. And we've already ordered the next 5,000. So it's already in production for the next 5,000 pieces. And when I say 5,000 pieces, that's 25,000 feet of track. That'll keep us busy. All right. Yes, and Smart Assist needs to, if you wouldn't mind just clicking that caps lock, unclick the caps lock. I don't know why, but when caps lock, when everything is in caps, it feels like somebody's yelling in text. It's weird that's become a thing, but it kind of is a thing. So undo your caps locks, por favor, so we don't all feel like we're being yelled at. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at next? Let's see. Set up a timer that has a button to add time, like the pool. Hit the button, it adds time. I'm sure there's a way. I don't know what it would be, but probably there's a way. I wish I could tell you that I know, but I don't know for sure. You've been waiting to see, Doberbane. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Doberbane's been waiting since September. And that was again because we oversold. Even, we got a shipment in October of 1,000 pieces, and it's all gone. So I apologize greatly, but Mike's a good guy. He was doing the best he could. I think we made a mistake in systems, and we've given plenty of refunds for anybody who didn't want to make their money just sit and idle that long. But it's on its way. If at any time you need a refund, just let me know. But it should be here pretty soon. I know. Too bad I can't find them. I've found manufacturers, Mr. Hankey, but it's what they charge. What they would charge me is more than what I'm charging to sell it, and so it would have to double the price basically, or somewhere in that ballpark. And why do that? Like if we can manage the timing better, we're going to be able to get a better price for everybody. So that's what that's what we're doing. That's why, basically I want to order 5,000 pieces every month this entire year until we get to the end of the year, and until hopefully we start having some surplus. At some point, maybe we have a surplus. What are those wire connectors in the DigUno picture called? Oh, yeah, these little guys down here, Is that what you're talking about? Those have a name. What are those called, guys? I don't remember what those are called, but basically it's a way to, you just crimp something onto the end of your wire so that it has a little bit better connection instead of just loose wires in these terminals. I don't remember what they're called. Okay, let's try somebody else. What is the fastest memory card for the Raspberry Pi 3B? I don't know. Class 10 from SG. SG says, Sir Goodenough says, a class 10 SD card, so it won't wear out. That's what you want. How do I set up double press, etc. from MQTT? Well, I don't know. I know in ESPhome, there's a way to tell it that you want a double press and stuff. And you can manage it. You can manage it by how long in between presses. Like here it is, right? On press is one thing. On release, it can do something else. On click, which is kind of the same as on press, I think. But there's double click and then multi-click. And then you can actually say how long. You don't have to, but you can specify how long in between clicks. So that's ESPhome. I don't remember with MQTT exactly how that works. I think there's a way. I suppose there's a way, but I don't know. Can I post the gist of my Node-RED stuff? At some point I will. Not right now. Will I do a video on the Arduino project? I'll do live streams about it, and I probably will do a new video. I have set a goal for myself to at least put out one production level video a month. And I've started to line up some topics that could be recurring, so that like every January I do a home assistant video, every October I do a LED video, those kinds of things. But there'll be a lot of variation in that as well. So the alarm system is one that I will do. Yeah, I will do that. If nothing else, I'll do a very good summary of it in a live stream that we can clip. Because when I say I'll do one production video a month, that doesn't mean just, I won't do any less live streams, and I'll still do live stream clippings, which I have a pile of right now that I haven't been able to get to because I've been doing too many other things, like trying to build a hobbit hole and trying to get DrZzs and Permatrac and all these things. Blade asks a question. Well, hello, Blade. Welcome to the stream. How much Dr. Pepper do I drink in a day? That all depends. I can't remember the last time I drank less than a liter, probably. And if I'm home all day and not doing anything else, it's over 2 liters, like a 2-liter bottle. So, DigQuads anytime soon? Yes. I will say yes. Within the next week, maybe a little more. One of the reason we are waiting on DigQuads is because of this. Because these things are failing. And so they found a really high failure rate. And so we sent a bunch of them back to the manufacturer, a bunch of these things. Because these things we don't build, right? These things we buy and just stick them on the ESP32, or stick them on the DigUnos and DigQuads, right? But they're coming from the manufacturers broken, useless. So we're sending them back. So that took some extra time. And do you figure out what type, size, thickness, etc. cable you need for each situation? Oh, how do you figure it out? Well, oh man. I wish there was a more real life table. There is the National Electrical Code tables for these things, but it's hard to rely on these because they are only for really big, I think it's 1.6. They're only for really big wires and really big loads. So the National Electrical Code in the US anyways gives you this kind of a thing that says temperature rating. Nope, it's not the temperature rating either. It's not the right one. Maybe it's 17. Basically, it will tell you how many amps you can put through a certain size wire, but it is extremely, extremely conservative. Maybe this is it. Maybe that was it the whole time. Anyways, it's extremely conservative. So it's so conservative that in small situations, it is almost not it's almost not usable. I'm sure there's electricians out there right now that are going crazy, screaming at me, throwing things at the screen. Here's Quindor's got a way to calculate it. There you go. You can use that calculator. Reese is here. Yeah, I got to go to work. So let's do sign off. Thanks for being here, everybody. I answered all the questions. They're called Ferrules connectors. Ferrules. Thank you very much. Would I consider building a dirt bag house at some point? Family and YouTube have done. It looks fun. We are building a hobbit hole. This one's. She's doing it in Russian. I feel like I'm in an episode of Stranger Things. Oh my gosh, that's glorious. See, you only get that with Nabukasa. I guess you could pay for it yourself because that is a pay service that Google charges for. So, Scarlax, thank you, amigo. Thank you. Would I come to Mexico to install it? Where in Mexico, Ricardo? The short answer is no, but I would love to consider it. I would love to just get in the U-Haul, or not U-Haul, get in the RV. Get in the RV with a bunch of pixels and a bunch of Permatrac and just hit the road. Go around the country and just put them. Cancun? Yeah. You want to go down to Cancun and install some Permatrac?
Cancun? Where's that?
It's on the beach. It's the awesome beach in Mexico. Awesome beach in Mexico. All right. Thanks everybody for a stream.
I don't have a passport.
We can work on that.
Oh.
We can work on that. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for being here. It was a fun time. We'll be back next week, same time. I might do it early next week. We'll see. I'll have to watch the calendar. Jalisco. Okay, well, I guess it's just going to be us. So how do you want to sign off? Sign off where we do it in a nose? Okay. Ready? Ready?
Oh.
Yeah, I like you plugging your nose. Matrix, yes, Blade. Ready?
As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, adios.
No idea where that came from. I don't know why that came up. All right. Adios, everybody. Have a good day. We'll see you next week.